Dear brothers and sisters, ask what I shall give you. God asks this question to King Solomon in today's first reading, taken from the first book of Kings, chapter 3. King Solomon asks God for the gift of wisdom. He could have asked for anything else, for riches, military successes, for fame, and so on. But his request, coming from a pure heart, was pleasing to God.
St. Charles Seminary,
Light of Truth.
Now, if God were to come to you today and ask you the same question he asked Solomon, what would be your response? Many things may have come to your mind, and perhaps many of these are good things, things such as success, good health, and so on. We all come before the Lord seeking so many things, but there is one thing that we must seek above all, and today's reading invites us to reflect on this truth. King Solomon asked God for wisdom above all else, and this request was granted to him. Coming to the New Testament and to today's Gospel, we see Jesus as the revealed wisdom of God. As first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 24 tells us, Christ is the wisdom of God. He is one greater than Solomon, as the Gospels describe, because he is truly God among us, revealing to us the Father and drawing us into the kingdom of God. Making use of parables, Jesus tells us about the kingdom of God, comparing it to a treasure hidden in a field, to a pearl of great price, a great catch of fish, and a wise scribe. Jesus' kingdom far surpasses any earthly kingdom, and we cannot even begin to imagine how wonderful the kingdom of God is, how great is the abundant life to which Jesus is inviting us. Ultimately, it is Jesus who is this excellent treasure, the pearl of great price, Jesus who is the culmination of our desires. And yet, there is a catch. The treasure is hidden in a field. The valuable pearl requires the merchant to sell everything else. While living on this earth, we find the treasure of Jesus and his kingdom in a similar way. Often, we find it hidden with nothing extraordinary to distinguish it. At times, it would almost seem absent or non-existent. It also requires from us great sacrifices, which very few people are generally willing to undertake. The Gospel invites us to discover and pursue the treasure of Jesus, not allowing ourselves to be swayed or distracted by the things of the world. In Indian philosophy, we speak of ekagrata, which means one-pointedness, a single-minded focus on something, allowing no room for distractions. The Gospel asks this of us too. The one who wants the treasure has to buy the entire field. In a sense, this tells us that if we want to obtain the treasure the Lord offers us, it is necessary to cut out distractions and embrace the entire discipline we need to be his disciples. Think of a student who wants to clear a competitive exam. He would need to give up on a lot of things and shut himself in his room, crucify himself at his desk, and labor with his books. An athlete would need to exercise every day with consistency and discipline, keeping strict control over his diet, irrespective of his moods. A student who studies only when he has nothing better to do, or a person who goes to the gym only whenever he feels like it, will soon find himself disappointed with his goals. It is always surprising then when people want to be disciples of Jesus but do not want to subscribe to all the demands of Christian life, many of which are difficult and seemingly unattractive at first. It may not be easy for many of us to get up early in the morning for Mass, or to get along well with our Christian community, or to forgive those who wrong us, or to give up scrolling on our phones to spend time in personal or family prayer. The demands are tough, but let us keep in mind the reward is much greater and definitely worth it. Dear friends, the treasure that we find in Jesus and His kingdom, the treasures of our faith, are not found in isolation, but always in a context which we have to receive. Today, though we do not celebrate it liturgically, is the feast day of Saints Joachim and Anne, parents of the Blessed Virgin Mary and grandparents of Jesus. The Church observes today as the World Day for grandparents and the elderly, and perhaps in many of our parishes and communities, we will be remembering and celebrating it in some way. Most of us have received the treasure of our faith from our ancestors, and especially through our grandparents and parents. It was they who first brought us to church, who taught us how to pray and how to love God. Let us be grateful for the treasure of faith we have received from them, buried in the land where our roots lie, and which has come to us through God's provident design. In today's culture, which tends to be dismissive of them, let us cherish them and pray for them, whether they are with us or have gone before us. Holding fast to the treasure we have received from them, let us in turn pass it on faithfully to the generations to come. In this way, we will be like the wise scribe from today's Gospel, bringing out of our treasure houses riches both old and new. Dear brothers and sisters, the second reading gives us this consoling promise. We know that in everything, God works for good with those who love Him, who are called according to His purpose. Though we may sometimes not be able to perceive His kingdom, which is hidden in the world due to evil, sin, injustice, and suffering, let us not lose heart. Let us keep our focus fixed on our treasure, who is none but Jesus Himself, and strive to bring about His kingdom in the world in which we live. Amen.